Hey guys, it's your girl, Crystal Nicole. So Tory's team, Unite the People, have submitted a new writ of habeas corpus to vacate Tory's sentencing because Tory is unable to redress his grievances and fully investigate claims due to unavailable evidence, which is a violation of his constitutional rights. Now, the people's failure to preserve the firearm, which is material and exculpatory evidence for testing by the defense, violates Tory's right to due process of law under the 5th, 8th, and 14th Amendment. They list a statement of facts, which are, I'm going to name about 10 of them. 1. On July 12, 2020, the 4 individuals were leaving a party. A verbal altercation ensued. The vehicle pulled over where a firearm was discharged at the ground, and Megan sustained injuries to her feet, which she first claimed was glass. 2. Megan testified that it was Tory who caused her injuries, but Megan gave different accounts of how this happened. 3. Kelsey needed immunity. 4. Sean Kelly told police he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, and gunfire come from the girl, Kelsey. 5. Jaquan Smith provided an affidavit stating the girls fought. He broke it up. He saw Kelsey with a gun, and Tory come running to stop her, but he did not see who was firing the weapon. 6. The DNA expert testified that LAPD never obtained DNA from Kelsey to compare against the DNA found on the weapon. So despite one of the contributors being a female donor, he did not have a female's DNA to test. 7. The people never produced the gun at trial, just a photo of the gun because the gun went missing. So Tory can't retest for DNA and fingerprints. The bullet fragments also went missing, so they cannot be used. 8. Forensic testing never resolved who the shooter was, as both Kelsey and Tory tested positive for GSR, and Tory, being the only person who gave DNA, wasn't found on the magazine of the gun and was inconclusive on the gun. It wasn't there. 9. The evidence given at trial was conflicting, and since that time, new evidence has come out that continues to favor Tory's innocence. 10. During the motion for a new trial, another DNA expert said that the DNA analysis was not reliable and that the LA County Crime Lab used improper procedures and incorrect analysis when determining whether Tory's DNA could be excluded. And because the people did not utilize the entire DNA recovered from the gun and magazine, the defense would have retested the DNA from the gun and called witnesses to show that Tory wasn't one of the DNA contributors they found on the gun. Excuse me, y'all. They go on to say that it is more than an abstract possibility that the jury could have been swayed by positive DNA results showing Kelsey contributed to the female DNA found on the gun, if only the people had made this evidence available. It is reasonable to conclude that they would have found the reasonable doubt that Tory had fired the weapon, and that when looking at the sum total of the circumstances of Tory's trial, it is clear that a miscarriage of justice has occurred. So in conclusion, they are asking for his conviction to be vacated and a new trial ordered. Now, if the people do not see the bullshit surrounding this case now, then it's simply because they do not want to see it. And I get it, because people really hate to be wrong, especially if they were so loud and proud when they thought they were right. But at some point, we got to learn how to call shit for what it is. And that's what that entire shit show of a trial was. Bullshit. Bullshit presented to you by Megan, her team, the blogs, Alex Sparrow, the prosecutors, etc. All they did was razzle-dazzle the crowd into a stupor, not knowing if they were coming or going, to the point that they just abandoned all rationale and common sense as the trial proceeded and the guilty verdict was made. We know why the fragments went missing. We know why the gun shells and whatever other evidence they collected was not preserved was because they knew it would point to the guilty party, the one that also tested positive for GSR, the one they refused to test for DNA or treat like a suspect, even though she came to the precinct looking like a victim of a fight. The fact that they only focused on Tory, given the story they got from the eyewitness and the conflicting stories from Megan, is just astounding. All of them should have been treated like suspects. And if they all refuse to talk, then charge them all and let them fight it out in court if they were that hard pressed for a conviction. So Now we have a new list of non-evidence in this case that casts further doubt on Tory's guilt. So let's run through that list again, okay? No gun, no fragments, no fingerprints, no shells, no DNA, no footage, no confession, a lying victim, a lying witness, a missing witness, Instagram post, music videos, tattoos. That's what we got from prosecutors that supposedly proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Tory committed this crime. Like, seriously. That's it. This is the overwhelming evidence that they presented that got the jury and people believing that Tory really shot this girl and not Kelsey. And it is really mind-blowing when you think about it, and quite scary that that's really all it takes to convince people. So at this point, they might as well just release him and let this shit go. Lock them hoes up and investigate the prosecutor's office who even brought this to trial. Because there is no way that anybody in their right mind can consider this justice. And if you do, it highlights the reason why our justice system is the shit show it is now, because we allow it to continue on that way by simply not giving a fuck until it affects you. Care now or pay for it later. So, with that said, that's really all I have to say about this. I mean, between yesterday and today, I really cannot deal with this shit, okay? So, as always, keep hope alive and free Tory.